Well, as many of you noticed, we haven't seen a lot about the Kazakh tribes and ancestral traditions. As a matter of fact, this looks quite a Soviet town built by the Russians. But in an attempt to learn further about the Kazakh tribes, we come to what's supposed to be, I say what's supposed to be, the house and personal residence of Abilay Khan, the last independent Khan of the Kazakh Khanate. No suzerainty, no vassalage. Without further ado, let's go visit him. We are greeted immediately by a Kazakh yurt. Well, this one is a wooden one. It's not the one that they carry with them when they live nomadic or semi-nomadic lifestyle, but to give you an idea, it's going to be tough to carry this one. Or probably the semi-nomadic Kazakh tribes, they would build this one on the go. Now the question to which I hope I'm gonna find an answer is why Abilay Khan would come to the north of the country, as close as possible to the borders with Russian Empire. Not any Russian Empire, we're talking about 1771, 1781. So this was during the height of the rule of Catherine the Great. He never accepted any gift, despite the lavish offers he received from the Russian Empire. So he was the last independent Khan of the Kazakh Khanate. But it's not clear to me why he would come as close as possible to the borders with the Russian Empire and build a house that looks like a lot of houses in the Russian Empire at that time. The entrance is closed and it's written for I see arrows pointing out to the Russians, so maybe there is an entrance there. Yeah, maybe this is the entrance. Здравствуйте. Now, Abilay Khan is important for the Kazakhs not only because he maintained their autonomy and independence from the Russians and the Chinese. As a matter of fact, he was a master of political games using China against Russia and vice versa, but also because he repelled the Dzongars. And here we have a painting depicting this moment. You see Abilay duel with Sharish, who was from the Dzongar. So I assume this is Abilay and this is the Dzongar invader. Who the Dzongars are? They were people living between the western part of the wall of China up to east of Kazakhstan, and they came from the east to Kazakhstan, especially the north. The north was called the Middle Jews because the Kazakh Khanate was separated into 3 districts. They called them Jews. The Dzungars would commit all type of horrors in the land of Kazakhstan. Here there is a picture actually of an unarmed girl shot by an arrow by some warriors. I guess these are the Dzungar invaders. And in 1723 there is a year called the Year of the Great Disaster that Kazakh people still remember, where the Dzungars would ravage their land. Murders, theft, just like it. So Abilay Khan repelled that Dzungar threat just before the Chinese dynasty put an end to it once for good. And there is this beautiful museum. This is where Abilay Khan is buried, and I'm smiling because this mausoleum was actually commissioned in the late 1300s, so almost 4 centuries before Abilay Khan burial. Who commissioned this? Timur or Tamerlane. And if you don't know who he is, and if you are European, you should be thankful to Timur, because he is the one who put an end to the Ottoman Empire, Battle of Ankara, 1402, when he captured the Sultan Bayezid II, Bayezid the Thunderbolt, who defeated the Europeans in various battles, even in the Crusades of 1396, the Crusade of Nikopol in Bulgaria. And Timur put an end to his empire temporarily. Where can you visit it? Well, in the city of Turkestan, south of Kazakhstan. It's a pure Timurid architectural style. I thought it was in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. No, they have it here in Turkestan. Oh, and there is a Quran, the original Quran from Abilay Khan. Wanna see it? Well, I think it's the original one from Abilay Khan. Well, I take back what I just said. I don't know whose Quran is this one. Here's a large. It's impressive. Last time in the Hazrat Mosque in Astana, I saw a Quran that was found in Turkestan from the 13th century. See again, images of horror from the year of the great disaster, where the Dzungars invaded Kazakhstan, mainly north of Kazakhstan, and killed limitless. See some more pictures of destruction here. So probably these are the Dzungars. Another hero of Kazakhstan is Kanesari Khan. See him here in the middle? This is the last Khan of Kazakhstan before he was executed, 1847, starting officially the Russian conquest of Kazakhstan. He was the grandson of Abilay Khan, and we should find this in this tree. So the father was Qasim, and you see Qasim came from Abilay Khan, Abilay Batyr. Batyr means a hero in the Kazakh language. Here is your full immersion into the Kazakh nomadic lifestyle. So here they have preserved the rooms of Abilay Khan the way they were. Probably these were his personal dishes, and just look at the sophistication of the patterns and the details. Of course, the everyday citizen wouldn't have such beautiful, well-crafted patterns because there was no machine at the time, everything handmade. Of course, the Khan, yes, he would, because this is what he would receive foreign officials. Oh, look at the beautiful patterns on their clothes, the rugs on the wall, boxes, probably for Abilay Khan, most precious items. Wow, this is beautiful. Look at the rug hanging on the wall. If you remember from our previous trip to Moldavia, northeast of Romania, they would hang also rugs on the wall. It would be like the same rug. The bride and the groom would knee on it in front of their priest the day of their wedding in the church. They would take it, hang it on the wall of one of the walls of their new home. Here in Kazakhstan, I don't know what's the tradition behind. Probably it serves to warm the place, to give it a cozy vibe, to decorate it with their ancestral tribal patterns. You see there is no human face, there is even like animals, like flowers, more geometrical forms, and still it's beautiful. This is probably the bed of Abilay Khan when he used to come here north of Kazakhstan. It just shows you the influence that Abilay Khan had in the country of Kazakhstan, and usually this type of influence comes with great military victories and of course diplomacy and political skills. He was a master chess player when it comes to political games between the different tribes of the Kazakh Khanate, China, Russia, how he repelled the Dzungars. I see a book here. This is probably some literature that Abilay Khan used to read. This is not Quran, but this is some literature in the Persian language. However, there is a Quran from the 19th century in the other room. We'll go see it. I'm not sure how much of the belongings here are original and how much are reproduction. What do you think, guys? Should I just settle in Kazakhstan, build myself a cabin, something like this, and find an investor? It's always the investor problem. I love the patterns here. But we still haven't solved the mystery. Why Abilay Khan, who was buried south of Kazakhstan, more than 2 hours by flight from Petropavlovsk, where I am, why he chose this city as close as possible to the Russian Empire borders as his personal residence? Was there any political message to be sent to Catherine the Great at the time? Or was it more to consolidate his rule over the northern tribes of Kazakhstan? I do not have an answer to that for now. course, you need a separate room for the reception. Kazakhs know the rules of hospitality. Well, this is Abilay Khan himself welcoming you in an official ceremony. You see here the Abilay Khan sealing ring. And his chest jewel. This is his dagger. It is massive. His sword. And this is where Abilay Khan, among other Kazakh Khans, would welcome their guests. Until today, you find restaurants that have this form of seating. Just sit on pillows on the floor directly. All sorts of weaponry. Depending on the rank, the weapon is more or less sophisticated, like this one, or simple like this. It's the Sphinx of Egypt, the pyramids. More armors. Always fascinated by their weapons at the time. It's probably 1 meter 50 something. Look at the arrow. This portrait of Abilay Khan. Someone must have crafted this rug in his honor. Oh, this one looks very deadly.